Welcome back to Eurovision 365. It's great to have you here. This is Podrick. Podrick, even. Podrick. This is Podrick calling you from Northern Ireland and broadcasting live on Eurovision YouTube page, YouTube channel Eurovision 365, and of course the Eurovision 365 Facebook group. And you're very welcome here. Of course, I'm back again. This is day six of rehearsals that have been taking place in Liverpool, and the remaining countries from semi-final two took to the stage for the second time. And a little over an hour ago, the 30-second clips from the rehearsals were shared amongst Eurovision TV, and those clips, of course, have been selected and chosen by the delegations from every country. And there's some really good ones and some maybe not so brilliant. And we'll talk about that as we go on. Wherever you're watching this from, you are very welcome. Make sure to let me know your thoughts. Make sure to let me know where you're from when you're watching this from. And it's Friday night. And whatever you're doing, let me know what you're doing. And this time next week, my goodness, this time next week, it will be the eve of the grand final of Eurovision 2023 in Liverpool. And that's come about pretty quick, hasn't it? And of course, this time next week, I will be broadcasting live, where I'll be sharing with you everything that's happening at the jury final of the Eurovision Song Contest final. I'll have access to that. I'll be watching that, and I will be sharing with you everything that's happening on there. I can't show the actual pictures and videos from the contest and sounds for obvious reasons, but I can tell you everything that's going. So it is day 6 of rehearsals, and let me know your thoughts as well. So I think it's time, isn't it? It's time to go and have a look at Cyprus. Cyprus, of course, are being represented by Andrew Lambrou, and the song is "Break a Broken Heart," and it's a very good song. These clips are actually courtesy. These photos are courtesy from Eurovision TV and OGAE in Greece, and I have taken the photos from them, so thank you so much to those two places. So you can see some of these photographs are from the first rehearsal. This is from today, and I absolutely love this picture. It really encompasses from the actual video for me. Whenever it was premiered, obviously Andrew Lambrou in the video is swimming, and there's a real water feel to this performance that I've seen. And with the 30-second clip that was shared earlier on, the video, it certainly feels like that's going to be a big part of the aesthetic. Although there is some fire as well in the pictures, and this is just let me see. Yeah, this one, case in point here. There's fire towards the end. I believe that's going to be towards the end of his performance. Now, Andrew, of course, like everyone, was interviewed today by Timur, of course, who co-hosted the 2017 Eurovision. And Andrew had multiple questions thrown at him. And what he says is, "I love how my stage outfits has no sleeves. I think it makes me look like a samurai or a Jedi." And also, what he has gone on to say is he is saving another outfit for the live show. So it looks like, or it sounds like from what he said, that what he's wearing in these rehearsals is going to be different when it comes to the grand final. Oh, grand final. Could that be a lucky omen for Andrew Lambrou? Currently in the odds, Andrew is, let me just refresh these because they're changing all the time, they're fluctuating all the time. Andrew is currently 22nd overall in the betting odds. And just in terms of his form, he is continuing to improve actually. So when the song was first released, it was 20th in the betting odds. It went down to 25th and then 28th on the 21st of March, but it began to slowly drop for him, and currently he is in, as I said, Andrew is in 22nd position. So that was Cyprus. So let's move along to Iceland. This is the power, Dina. And some nice photographs again from the first rehearsal, and going through. Delia is certainly using all her might, all her power in her body to give, looks like a gymnastic display that she's doing most of the performance. Delia, of course, we're chatting to Timur earlier on today as well, and she had said, we had a better second rehearsal, and she says, we're getting there. And she goes on to say, in terms of her performance, I've always been into sports, and my dad is a physiotherapist, so I studied physiotherapy. And she says, I can do as many push-ups as I have time for. Her favourite food is sushi. And the lyrics, apparently, are based on the trouble she had as a teenager with anxiety and OCD. And she says she couldn't enjoy anything at that time, but I'm sure she is going to enjoy her experience at the semi-finals. It's not, I would say, I don't know if she will go along and qualify. It's a funny semi-final, semi-final 2. Anything can happen in semi-final 2, but we will see, won't we? One thing I noticed, and I said this actually in the first rehearsal for Iceland, was for me it's a bit of a resemblance to Delia and Selma from 1999. Here's a little look at what I'm saying. Not exactly the same, but can you understand why I would compare those two? Yeah, can you see that? Can you see it? Adam, great to see you here again. You're very, very welcome. As always, you're saying Ireland is surprisingly has risen to 18th in the betting odds now. Wonder what the reason for that is. What's the reason they have risen so high, I wonder? Is it Graham Norton's positive words about them? Graham Norton has a huge following, of course, on social media and is a big star in his own right. But is that the reason that they are riding high? It's been a bumpy road for Wild Youth. Will the bumps continue, or will it even out? Anyway, it's time to move on from Iceland to Greece. And it's Victor. Hello, Victor.
Hey, I'm Victor Vernikos, and I'm representing Greece this year in Eurovision 2023 with my song What They Say, and you're watching Eurovision 365.
I just said that. I said, hello, Victor. So there it is. Victor, of course, is representing Greece, as he said. And again, there was 30 seconds of his performance today from the second semi-final released. These are some updated photographs. This year, like many people are saying, appears to be the year of performers lying on the stage. There's an awful lot of that happening. This is a really nice picture come up here now for Victor. And this is the one where he jumps up. He's doing a lot of movement about towards the end of the song. I really quite like this photograph as well. What I've noticed with a lot of the performers this year is they're using photographs or images or videos of themselves in the back wall LED screens. I think that's really interesting that a lot of countries are doing that, including Greece. What I will say about Victor, I think he's a great kid. I really, really, really like him. I think he's really cool. Unfortunately, with the 30 seconds that was shared today, vocally, it's really quite off. Unfortunately, as I said, I really like him. I think he's a talented performer, but he looked very lost, looked very scared, looked very want to be anywhere but the stage. It felt like. I hope that things turn around for him. Cian, hello to you. Very, very welcome to you. As always, welcome to Tipperary. And what Victor was saying today. He says, Victor has a very different feeling about the second rehearsal in comparison to what I was saying with the 30 seconds that I saw. He says the second rehearsal was amazing. The staging is powerful, and vocally, I think I performed better. Small things like a problem with the in-ear will be fixed, so maybe that's the reason that the vocals were off, maybe an in-ear piece. Potentially that is what happened. We were chatting about this actually in an interview I had with Victor a couple of weeks ago. He says, my classmates are so excited. They ask me about every little detail to send them backstage photos, etc. He loves Elena Paparizou, of course, who won for Greece in 2005. And he says, I wanted to travel everywhere. I believe there is something in each country that is gorgeous. After Eurovision, I'll try stand-up comedy, he says. That's really funny. I like that. So what they say is the Greek entry, of course. Yeah, I think that's something that all people were echoing the other night when we've seen the first rehearsal clips for Greece. Cian, he is only 16, of course. He's he's good at what he's doing now, but he'll return in the future and be even better. I think so. I think there's a good chance of Victor returning to Eurovision in years to come. As long as he has a good enough experience this time, I'm sure he will. I think there's probably a few question marks around whether he will qualify or not. Time will, of course, tell. He's 31st in the betting odds as we speak. He's actually got worse. He was 30th, which wasn't great, of course, but now he is 31st. So, yeah, so we've gone through, I've gone through Cyprus, Iceland, and Greece. There's a few more to go. There's another 10 to go. Sorry, 7 to go. Can't count, it's Friday evening. Another 7 to go, and I will be reviewing those as well. So, next up, it's Blanca and Solo. Here she is. This has a lovely beach kind of Hawaii feel to it, this staging. It's like a summer holiday. And it kind of works well. And it's a bit of a nod perhaps to the video, the music video that Blanca released just prior to the Polish national final. She's dressed in the orange and purple there to begin with, that dress, and of course has a Bucks Fizz moment when it's changed. And I love the brightness of this. Blanca is pretty good when it comes to the vocals, I have to say. What I noticed today, this evening, about the clips that were shared, the backing track seems to be overpowering pretty much about every performer, most performers that I've seen today from rehearsals. Victor especially, I would say Slovenia as well, Blanca, and who else? Yeah, those were like Lithuania as well. Definitely the backing track seems to overpower them. Yeah, love the overhead shot where they show from Blanca's performance when she walks onto stage at the end of the catwalk. Yeah, looks really good. Obviously we have this big high kick moment, and Blanca is a great mover, great mover, and I have a funny feeling she is going to qualify, and I would, for one, would love to see that happen. I really would. I think she's come on quite the journey, has Blanca, hasn't she? And I'd love to see that negative experience she has had at the beginning turn into a really positive one. And look at the brightness, look at all this going. You could not like that, could you? Brightness, the pinks, the orange, the yellows, the dancers. She has a little bit of a dance break now. Come on, Blanca. Let's do this. Let's get it. So let's move on now to Slovenia. It's Joker Out.
Hey everybody, we're Joker Out. We're the Slovenian representatives for Eurovision Song Contest 2023. We've just done an interview for Eurovision 365. Watch it.
Watch it, they said. Yeah, I think you should watch it. The video of the interview I had with Joker Out is on the channel. So you have to scroll back a little bit because it was a couple of months ago now. But do check it out. It was a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun and they are having the time of their little lives. And what's happening, people are commenting on the little bromance that appears to be happening between Bojan, the lead singer of Joker Out, and Karja from Finland, of course. And Karja is posting a lot of posts on Instagram of him and Bojan replicating the Titanic scene on the boat. They are having, again, the time of their lives. Some photographs here from the first rehearsal and second coming up. So again, you can see here from this photograph that was taken actually from the first rehearsal that there seems to be a lot of waving going on with the Steadicam operators around the band, and that would give a real intimate feeling. And there are a lot of close-ups on the backing singers as well, the backing performers. The other members of the group, I should say. They're not backing singers, they're other members of the group. And there's a lot of intimacy with this performance in terms of how close the camera gets to them. And I think that is actually a great thing to give us an idea of the fun that they're having. I think no one could feel anything but that those guys are having fun every single moment of their performance. And this is, again, my favourite shot actually from the pictures released. Them potentially at the end with the little hearts, and hopefully the signature bow will come as well. The 30-second rehearsal clip that was aired on Eurovision TV YouTube channel just over an hour or so ago, they sound good, they're having fun, very strong, very solid, and I would expect Slovenia to qualify with ease from the semi-final. They are currently 20th in the betting odds, but we shall see. Moving on then to Georgia, shall we? Let's go. It's Iru. And Echo, of course, is the song. Dressed all in white. A wind machine or two, I think, is being used. Maybe 3 wind machines. A la Carola. And yeah, looking really well in a nice silhouette image of her. No one can deny, I don't think, that Iru has a fantastic singing voice. Very powerful, very strong. As I've been saying throughout, I'm not really sure what the song's about. I've seen the lyrics, but it's like, what is it? Vocally, she's fantastic. Of course she is, but it's just noise for me at this moment. But I hope to be proved wrong. I would be very happy to be proved wrong. And Georgia with Iru gives them a great result. Currently, Iru and Georgia is 23rd in the betting odds. But what do they know? So keep your comments coming, or keep them pushed out to me. So this is day 6, of course, of rehearsals. The remainder of the second semi-finalists took to the stage today for their second and final technical rehearsal. They were able to make some changes and make some tweaks, of course, following the first rehearsal. What I seen today was some performers were more happy than others. Some were saying that most of the changes they had asked for were implemented, whilst others were saying that only a small percentage of the changes they had requested were implemented. So some delegations are happier than others, I would think would be fair to say. And Iru, of course, was interviewed with everyone else was interviewed by Timur, and she says, Iru, we're still chatting about, says, I'm so happy with the second rehearsal, so improved. And she said her favourite pre-party was in Israel because of Jerusalem. It is an amazing place to visit, but also Spain because of the atmosphere and the fans. Yeah. Her favourite subject in school was biology. How interesting. So that was Iru. Time to go to San Marino. Picked Jacks are up next. Let's see you pick Jacks. Much the same that we have come to expect from Peak Jacks from the national final in San Marino. Nothing has changed really. You know, they are using primarily the back part of the stage primarily. I think there's an awful a lot of power with the lead singer's voice. It reminds me of Colm C.T. Wilkinson, who took part for Ireland at Eurovision 1978. He was the opening song, and the song was called "Born to Sing," and he blasted the ears of those in attendance in Paris. And I think the lead singer of Peak Jacks is going to do pretty much the same thing. They're very, very likable, I think. And yes, Cian, I think you probably are in the minority. The bookies have San Marino at 34th. Interesting, Romania is 37th. But San Marino is languishing behind most countries there in 34th. Peak Jacks, of course, they've been saying that they were saying that they are very impressed with the improvements implemented after the first rehearsal, and they are really happy with the technicians. They're saying they respect all the technicians for their amazing work. And we decided to go to San Marino selection after watching Achille Lauro last year. We sing in English, so San Remo was out of reach. That's so interesting. So they sing in English, so San Remo was out of reach. So that's really interesting comment, isn't it? You imagine that they can obviously perform in Italian, or sing in Italian. That's their language, but perhaps we could see Pick Jacks at a future San Marino performing in Italian, of course. I think most people would be surprised if they qualified, but again, semi-final 2 is one of those semi-finals where anything can happen, and anything will happen with it. But I can't deny and won't deny that Peak Jacks are a really likable group of fellas. They seem to be really friendly. They're talking about their experience of the pre-parties, and something I posted actually on the Facebook group earlier on. You know, it really feels that the 2023 alumni of Eurovision are really getting on so well. I think that's thanks in part to the pre-parties, which a lot of the performers attend. Also, I think that there's a lot of events happening in and around Liverpool at the moment, which involve the performers. I mean, yesterday a lot of them were on like a boat. They were doing like a cruise along the river, and there's the Australians were there, the Austrians were there, Slovenia was there, Azerbaijan was there, Korea was there. Lots of different delegations were there, and they seem to be so together and really bonded, and I love to see that at the contest, and it would be fantastic. Cian is saying Peak Jacks needs more love. They're a lot better than people make them out to be. Yeah, I think they're lovely fellas, and I wish them well, of course I do. Adam, you're saying I'm voting for Blanka from Poland on Thursday night. Solo is definitely my guilty pleasure this year. I know someone who has also got Blanka and Solo as a guilty pleasure Don't feel guilty. Just embrace it. Just embrace it. Here is a song I love coming up, and here it is.
Well, you've just offered me, before we went rolling, a drink of water. Well, I want to give you something. You talk about gas station champagne.
Yeah.
I have mini market champagne for you too.
Oh my god!
You can open it if you want. I'm parched.
Thank you so much. That looks fancy.
It's really not. It's really not.
Another gas station champagne.
It was mini market.
Really?
It was
No,
mini market.
That's an upgrade. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Oh, of course you can.
Thanks.
You're so welcome. What?
Can you believe?
Can you believe?
We made it to mini market champagne.
I know they've been upgraded, everybody.
That's what Eurovision gets you.
That's what Eurovision gets you. It gets you mini market champagne. And I still haven't seen a drop of that champagne. But that was Taya and Selena, who, of course, I met at Eurovision concert. And they were so much fun. I actually forgot that we were recording a video. I had so much fun. But looking at their pictures from today, Austria is looking on fire. Taya and Selena are very, very good, performing very, very well. They do seem very, very confident on stage. I have to say, it starts off with a lot of blacks and reds and whites. Of course, that matches the outfits that Taya and Selena are wearing. Black and red in Taya's case, and white and red in Selena's case. But works well, doesn't it? The reds, blacks and whites, I think visually is a good mix. It's good contrast, and it's quite bold as well, isn't it? And let's see, what else have we got here from today maybe? Yeah, this is a great shot. This is towards the end of the performance. I think this comes whenever they sing 0.003 and they walk towards the front of the stage, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So it does. The 30-second clip shared today, they were very, very good. I have to say they were very, very good indeed. Tay and Selena say it feels so good that we finally appear to people. For a long time, the pandemic, this was not possible, of course. For both of us, the first memory we had from Eurovision was in 2007. Molitva, of course, won, the Serbian winner of that year. We are both crazy Eurovision fans. They say we watch every year, and now we are here. We represent the fans. We're happy that we can be authentic here in Eurovision, be ourselves. We don't want to be perfect and wear the perfect dress. I love that. They are very, very real girls. They're so much fun. They've got so much energy, and I really want them to do so well. I really do. Nathan Cassidy is in the house. Welcome, welcome back to Eurovision 365. And Nathan is hoping that Ireland sneaks through to the grand final. If you meet them on the turquoise carpet, could you please tell them I'm sending my best wishes to Austria and I'll be voting for them in the final. I will definitely can take a note of that. Hopefully remember me. Maybe they drank the champagne and they forgot. But yes, absolutely can. If I get to see Taya and Selena on the turquoise carpet, I will pass on that message to you. Your best wishes to them. That's what I want to say. Hopefully we'll be broadcasting here live at the turquoise carpet on Sunday, which is what, 2 days from now. What? 2 days from now, we'll be in Liverpool. I'm just taking a moment to think about that, because that's like, wow, 2 days. That doesn't feel real to be saying that. Wow. And actually, a week today, of course, is the eve of Eurovision 2023 Grand Final. And it's really hard to believe, isn't it, that it's kind of come around so quickly yet again. But that is the joy of Eurovision. But Tay and Selena, they have my full support, of course, as well. I really want them to do well. And they are 9th in the voting odds now. Have they moved down? They have. I think they have. Were Austria not 8th? I think Austria were 8th in the betting odds, but they seem to have gone down. Let me see. Yeah. No, they were 8th and now they're 9th. So yeah, in and around what they were, I think. So there we go. Think about 2 days from now, not 2 weeks from now. I know I'm thinking ahead, aren't I? So thinking ahead, let's move ahead, and it's time for Albina and family. Here they are. Very powerful scenes, I've got to say, from the photographs that are shared. They sound good as well, I've got to say. They sound really good. They're all dressed in black. There's a lot of power in this performance. Black and red, which I think I'm right in saying from the first semi-final, they chose those colours to represent their nation's flag, of course, black and red. And of course their family. So I was trying to work out earlier on if any other families had taken part at Eurovision before. Now, there's been moments where mother and daughter has took to the stage together. Husband and wife have taken to the stage. Actually, Denmark in 1985, Skudespar fra Non, there's a husband and wife and their daughter, their very young daughter, joined them on stage as well. So that's another example of a family that took to stage at Eurovision. But yeah, Adam, hello, welcome to Eurovision 365, broadcasting live here on YouTube channel Eurovision 365, of course, and on the Facebook group Eurovision 365. So if you're watching this from, you are very, very welcome. Just going very quickly, it has to be said, through these photographs from the second set of rehearsals for the remainder of the second semi-finals. So we're currently on Albania. And yeah, here are the scenes from Albania. And here's one final one. Again, power is the word of the day when it comes to Albania for me. So what they're saying is they're very close, all very close as a family. They're involved in music because we all grew up in an environment filled with music. The dad is a lawyer. The mum is a lecturer in the university. One's a teacher, and one is studying economics. We're a small family, and we now become a part of a bigger family. It's not a nice thing to say. So they consider themselves a small family, but have become a part of a bigger family. That, of course, family is the Eurovision family. Hello, Adam. You're very, very welcome. I've realised it's been 20 years since the song from positions 1 to 9 have won Eurovision. Last time being Turkey from 4th. The only time that's happened so far. Yet, Sertab Erener broke that course in 2003 when she won from 4th position. So yeah, wonder will the course of performing second ever be broken? What do you think about that? I don't think anyone who gets drawn in second position this year at the final will be overly delighted. Albania, still we're chatting here, and Kian is saying Albania is brilliant. I can relate to the family respect aspect of the entry. Family is very important. Albania is in my top 10 this year. Again, I'm probably in the minority. Kian, I'd love to know your top 10 actually, because regardless of whether you're in the minority or not, I think it's really important to share, your views and have those respected. So I just would be really interested to know where you're at in the top 10, what your top 10 is. As you prepare that, if you are up for that wee challenge, let's have a look at Monica from Lithuania. Monica, I think, hasn't been overly happy with her rehearsals. from what I am reading, she has been saying that there are quite a lot of issues in the first rehearsal, but she said most of them are fixed now, but we're not completely happy, but we'll get there. So they're not completely happy, not overly happy with how things are. Watching the 30-second clip today, it's quite repetitive, I've got to say. Monica, I think, is having in her words, is having a better time this time around at the Eurovision. And she's enjoying herself. She's finally going to enjoy herself, she says. And yeah, she wrote the song in one evening, following the feeling. She enjoys living in London. I love, she says, how multicultural it is and how rich the music industry is there. What she's also saying is, I will definitely not wear the jellyfish outfit for the semi-final. I felt uncomfortable. Probably it would be something different from today also. So Monica is keeping her options open, it seems, for what she will wear at the semi-final. And yeah. So, Kane, thank you so much for sharing your top 10. Let's have a wee look. Shall we have a look, shall we? Let's have a look at what your top 10 is. So, in reverse order, Italy, Ireland, Norway, Australia, Albania, Moldova, France, Switzerland, Slovenia, and Austria. And voila, Austria is number 1. I will tell them, if I get to chat to them, Cian, I will tell them that they are your number 1. It'll be really cool if they get the chance to hear that and respond to that as well. Now it's time for the final rehearsal of today. And it's Voyager, of course. Here they are. Theodore, hello, Theodore. You're very welcome again.
You seem to have like a little, like I would say, trademark dance move that you seem to do. Is there any chance, you probably don't have the room, is there any chance of doing that? You in particular are awesome at it.
I get out of this one.
Try not to take anyone out with the spins. On this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whoops. You seem to have like
Whoa, poor Voyager. Try not to get him out with the spins. Unfortunately, she was taken out with the spins, but that's so much fun. So much fun with Voyager. They are great. There is an interview with them on the channel. If you haven't seen it, I know, poor Simone. There is an interview on the channel with Voyager. Check it out if you haven't seen it already. You'll not be disappointed. It's not a very long interview, but it is a lot of fun the whole way through. And Danny, who you can see just here, Danny with his cool look and a class suit, I love it. Me and him had a lot of banter with my Northern Irish accent. He said Northern Irish is his favourite accent, which I think is class. Yeah, that's really cool. He does. And he also does a very good impression of the Northern Irish accent, I've got to say. Here are some photographs. Some of these are from the first rehearsal, and some are from the second. This one here in particular is from the second one. A lot of close-ups. And their 30-second clip today as well from Eurovision TV. Go to Eurovision TV YouTube channel if you haven't seen the latest rehearsal clips from the second technical rehearsals for the second semi-finalists. Voyager was definitely a standout one for me, I've got to say. They were so much fun. I think Australia are going to cruise in that car to the final, they were saying today that they never want to leave the Eurovision stage. We will come back again year after year. And having met them, it's very hard to know whether being genuine or whether they're joking. They're a lot of fun. They said they've experienced the wildest crowds in Mexico City, also Milan, Madrid, and Barcelona. Japan was also crazy because everybody was quiet. Watching Eurovision in the early morning in Australia is horrible and exhausting. They mentioned that about getting up so early for the Eurovision, because Danny and the drummer are absolutely huge Eurovision fans. They both love it, so they're used to getting up. And he also said, but next year we will get our revenge. You Europeans will wake up early, very early, to watch Perth 2024. So what they also said about their outfits, usually we wear metal bands outfits, but Eurovision doesn't come very often, so we had to dress from head to toe in sequins. Oh, goodness me. I really hope that Voyager are in the top 5 at the contest when it comes to it. I would love to see them in the top 5. I've heard in some other forums that there was a chat about Australia, their contract not being renewed for the Eurovision. This could be their last year taking part. That for me is just chat without any maybe confirmation that that's really going to be happening. There's only 37 countries taking part this year. Next year could be even less taking part. So why would EBU not allow Australia to compete next year whenever A, they have such a huge fan base in the country, and B, it's popular, and C, it attracts big names in Australia like to perform. So why would Australia not be back next year? That doesn't make sense to me. In terms of Australia, Kane, you're saying the song is great, the band is great, the stage is great. After Promise, can we have another 70 minutes of Voyager on the stage? Well, they don't want to leave the stage. They're saying, so you never know, you might get a chance to see that happen. It's funny, like I love the song. I love Dreamer as well from last year. And I wonder, had I not heard Dreamer last year and loved it so much, what my thoughts would have been on Promise. But I do love it, of course I do. I do think that Australia will do so well today. I'm hoping top 5. That would be a lovely thing to see on the scoreboard. And actually, flag update. Apparently, my Australian flag that I ordered at the start of the week is going to be here tomorrow. I leave on Sunday, so it has to come tomorrow. So apparently, it's arriving tomorrow. So I hope so. I hope it is, because I want to wave that proudly for the band. They're just awesome. They're just awesome. So next Wednesday, the 10th of May, the venue for where we'll be meeting up will be confirmed tomorrow. I'll post on the community side of the YouTube channel, and of course on the Facebook group page as well. I will share more details of the venue, the time, etc. for the meetup of Eurovision 365. If you're able to come along, even for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, or the whole thing, I am going. I'm going to. It would be great to meet you, so it would, and I'll be there, of course, the whole way through. And it would be from 3 to 5 on Wednesday, the 10th of May. The venue will be confirmed tomorrow. And yeah, you'll have to post on social media when it arrives. I know, I actually will. I was getting a bit nervous because it said should be arriving. And it was expected arrival. And according to the update on the website, the app that I ordered it from, It's expected tomorrow by 8 p.m. Will it? I don't know. I don't know. I hope so. There might be a chance to buy some flags at the contest in Liverpool. But interestingly, did anybody else see this? I saw the rules, some of the rules today on what you can bring in and what you can't bring in to the arena for the Eurovision, for the actual, probably both the family shows, the afternoon shows, and the live finals. Um, you're not able, apparently, you're not allowed to bring in flags of non-participating countries. I don't know if that's a new rule. Um, it must be a new rule because I'm thinking back to maybe like last year, and there's flags that I saw of countries that weren't taking part. So that's a rule this year that I saw within the OGAE Ireland chat. I've seen that earlier on. So it'd be interesting to see if that's the case. Also, there's a limit on the size of flags, which I think is an absolutely fantastic thing. The Australian flag, by the way, that I've ordered is not that big. It's like about that length and that height, so it's not huge, but it will be waved vigorously. That's for sure. So yeah, this has been day 6 of rehearsals. It's Friday night, and it's just gone 8 minutes past 10 here. So won't be able to have a Turkish flag. So won't be able. Oh, what's this? A Turkish flag drinking game. Oh, what is that now? I think we should have a drinking game. There will be drinking games, I'm sure. I think there should be a drinking game for every time when it comes to voting, where the voting announcers say it's been an amazing evening. That should be, you take a drink every time that's mentioned. But yeah, according to the rule that I saw today, no countries outside the 37 should be in the arena. So that's really, really interesting. But yeah. Oh right, okay. So is that you actually choose a flag then? So it won't be Turkish one this time. So you would choose a flag, a country, and say, okay, so every time you see an Italy flag, you take a drink. Is that right? God, imagine if you chose Spain. You'd be drinking all night. But yeah, so who do you think? I wonder who will be holding aloft this trophy a week on from tomorrow. Time will tell, of course. France is really looking like a great chance of winning. My only fear for Lazara is like it looks quite wobbly, that podium. Whenever it comes to the beat of the song, that's my worry for her. But vocally, it's great. It looks so class, doesn't it? It looks quintessential French, and I love everything about it. Just speaking about odds one last time here. Loreen is consistently and continually dropping in the odds. She would have been 46% this time last week. It's now 39%, which is indeed, of course, a considerable lead. But Karya is 24% behind, like 24%, it's on 24%. Lazara has skipped ahead of Spain and Ukraine and is currently sitting on 3rd. Yeah. It's interesting the way the odds are fluctuating and changing. Armenia has moved up from 12th to 11th. Australia, I think they've moved up too. Australia have moved up to 13th. They were, I think, around 15th. Yeah, they were 15th. Now they're in 13th. What's this here? Couldn't bring golf balls to 20. Couldn't bring golf balls to 2018 Eurovision. Wow, that must have been. is very strange. But yeah, so Lorena's coming down. It doesn't feel like there's a real hype about her, which is really interesting now. The buzz seems to kind of die down a bit. The buzz I fear is it's sort of quietening as well with Karya. Um, but the buzz is kind of happening. It feels like for France, for Lazara, um, for me as well. Noah Kirel. I'm still struggling to see the reason why Israel is seventh. Of course, that's a great position to be, but in terms of the betting odds, but Noah Kirel is just amazing, absolutely amazing. I love the song. I think the staging from what we've seen is phenomenal. No pun intended. It's phenomenal, and I could see that winning. I could see Israel winning. I could see Noah Kirel lifting this, this trophy a week on Saturday. Also, I could see Lazara lifting it. I did say, didn't I? I did say months ago that I felt it would be a female that would win Eurovision this year. I still think that, I still think it will be a female as well. Which one, I don't know. But you know what? We'll know rightly, won't we? A week and a day from now, who has won. And actually, at this time, 13 minutes past 10 on the 13th of May, we'll be rightly through the voting, and or maybe just starting. I don't know. We'll be near enough starting the voting, whatever. But we'll have a bit of an idea, won't we, of who is doing well. Who is doing well. As I said, the meetup will happen on the 10th of May, and I will share it tomorrow on the community side of the YouTube channel Eurovision 365 and the Facebook group, the venue. I'll of course confirm the times, and I hope it'd be great to see as many of you as possible. Have a bit of crack in person, a bit of chat in person. Can you say, I reckon France could pull on Netherlands in 2019, gaining just enough points from the jury and public votes to win. Yeah, absolutely. I actually wouldn't discount. I wouldn't discount Ukraine either. The song's powerful. The staging is powerful. He's a great singer, and it's a great song for me. We shall see. We shall see. But anyway, my lovely friends here at Eurovision 365, I'm going to bring this live broadcast to an end right now. It's been great having you here. I might be back tomorrow evening. We shall see. Got a lot to do because obviously going to Liverpool on Sunday. So I'll see if I can. Can't promise, but I will let you know in advance if and when I go live tomorrow. But until the next time I'm live, until the next video, you take care of yourselves. Thanks so much for joining me where you've dipped in and out. That's fantastic. That's cool. Where you've been here the whole way through. Where you've been here with me every day of the 6 days. Thank you as well. And until the next time, you take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you all very, very soon.